Hey, welcome everybody into the Coaches Show with head coach Blake Mauser of your Tolar Rattlers and athletic director of Tolar ISD. I tell you what, it is a great December the 4th, 2024, and we are doing the football finale today. Anytime you're doing the football finale in December, Coach, that means you've had a special year. And I introduced you wrong. I'm talking about the area champion head coach of the Tolar Rattlers, regional semifinalist. What a great season it's been. Fell a little short in the regional semifinal game against Holiday last week, 46-20. We'll talk a little bit about that game, but what we want to mainly focus on today, I think, Coach, is what a wonderful year we've had. It's been really a special year, and your first year here got to be doubly special.
No, yeah, no. I think if you ask any coach his first year, if as a head coach in general, if you're playing in 13 games, it's pretty exciting, and I'm super blessed to be here and have the opportunity to coach this team and be part of Rattler Nation, and I could have obviously we anytime you're not ending with a victory in Jerry World, you kind of always feel like, man, what could have been and all that stuff, but like I talked to the team and things of that nature. 10 years, even 5 years from now, you're not remember a place. Remembering the fact that playing over Thanksgiving in an afternoon game, which was an opportunity that not many kids get to do. So in the end, great year, awesome year, and truly blessed.
Yeah, and only 16 teams in all of 3A D2 were playing last Friday. So that's got to be something that you really, really got to focus on. I mean, a lot of teams just didn't even sniff the playoffs, much less were able to get past the first and second round. You go 3 rounds deep in the first year in a new program, new coaches, new system, new everything. After graduating a huge senior class last year, we graduating a huge senior class this year, Coach. So back to the old workshop we go, right?
Yeah, no, we started yesterday back in the weight room again. So we gave them Monday was the worst day where you have to do locker clean out, but we got back in the weight room and started off season with the 25 season, rocking and rolling already. So no rest for the weary, absolutely. And no, yeah, being one of the last 16, and the research I did in 3A D2, we're the only team new to 3A, still around in that D2, and so it just proved it's a good team, good class, and no, we're in a tough region against some really big time power hitters, and we were able. We found once we got our footing underneath ourselves, we proved we can play. Now we just got to get back to be able to elevate and be consistent through 4 quarters against some of the regional big powerhouses that are in here.
Yeah, and you talk about a regional powerhouse. You're talking about Holiday Eagles. I mean, what a program they've had. I did a lot of research up to before the game, and man, they have been in and around the hunt for a long, long time, and they're going to give Gunter this week all that they can handle in that contest to get past into the Final Four. But it seemed to me like talking about last week's game, a little bit of a slow start. Some things were just not clicking for whatever reason, and they jump out way ahead. I mean, took a 36-0 lead going into the halftime. However, the Rattlers fought hard the whole game long. I mean, just fought hard. Some things were in their control, some things weren't in their control so far in the game constructs in that first half. But the second half is what I want to focus on, because in the second half, the Rattlers really, really came around, started doing Rattler business, taking care of things that they needed to take care of. And, Coach, we had another defensive touchdown. What's up with this? An 85-yard fumble return from Ty McClure. And I tell you what, a big cow chest here. I've watched Ty all through his high school years progress, and he had a nasty injury last year. And to be able to fight through all of that and then be an integral part with the team this year, and to cap it off with his last senior season defensive touchdown, that had to be special.
Yeah, no, Ty's put in a ton of work. He, you talk about injuries. Heck, he was injured. About half his senior year was taken away through a pretty nasty quad hamstring type deal, where we just had to be slow with it with a muscle injury like that. And he was here, kept working, and when we were able to cut him loose, he did a great job. And I know he had a heck of a career. And no, it's things like that where you obviously true for your whole team, and you root for your whole team. But it's always when you look back and players were able to have moments like that for him. It was something that he always talked about how he had the fumble recovery for an 85-yard touchdown. It's pretty awesome, and it's something that we needed at that time. And was able to, all right, let's go play this game and do the right way. And to your point, I am super proud of our guys the way they came out at half. We had a blunt conversation. First half did not go very well. All hands were included in the butt kicking, I could say, and including from coaches on down. And we all had a piece in it. And so all we had to do is just keep doing our best effort and keep playing and doing things the right way. And our kids did. And I'm super proud of the way they finished the season.
Absolutely. Your sophomore quarterback just stuck with it, had all kinds of, that team, if you go back and look and see what they were able to do all year long, talking about Holiday and the defensive pressures and the way they were able to do it. But with this offensive line that the Rattlers had, and with the mature, a young guy like that showing the maturity level that he had just to stick with it, keep going, he was still able to get a touchdown pass to his favorite receiver, Watkins. I think it was a 27-yarder. And at that particular time, you're going, well, let's see what else they can do. Downtown Peyton Brown, he gets another touchdown, finishes his season in his career at Tolar on a positive note. Of course, he hurdled another player, Coach. Did you get on to him for that?
No. As long as you hurdle, I'm all right with it.
And, of course, over 100 yards again for that young man. But that was all the scoring for the Rattlers. 46-20. When you think about 36-0 going into half, the Rattlers definitely showed what they were made of going into that second half.
Yeah, no, and we had another awesome play that we've been working on, and it actually hit, was our double pass from Bryland to Dason.
Oh my gosh!
And unfortunately, we did have a lineman downfield. I mean, it's the right call, and it's one of those things where you hope it didn't happen, and it did, and it hates that it happened. But like I told Bryland, heck, like I said, football is one of those things where you create memories and you can have your own, and a lot of guys probably listening right now that are my age and your age, stuff like that. Your high school stories get a little bit bigger and better as you get older. And so Bryland, by the time is that pass might have been thrown in a state championship game and won it. Who knows? But he did have that, and I say, hey, you always have that, and it was a great play, and that was fun to watch. And of course, we wish it would have counted, but it's something that I was going to let him throw it, and I said, how's your arm? He's like, yeah, let's do it, and it worked out. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was very special. I'll tell you, I really, really liked it, Coach, because lineman downfield, and I've already got my researchers looking at it to see how many times the lineman downfield gets called when it's away from the play. I mean, this was on the other side of the field, had nothing to do with the play whatsoever. And I don't even think he touched anybody, to be honest with you. And they called a flag on that. And it's one of those, okay, we'll take that.
You get in the playoffs in this round, you have 7-man crews, and so they can see some things more. And again, and the play design, the way we worked it, our kids kind of know it's just sometimes you get into that heat of the moment and that type of game and nerves and pressure and things of that nature. And it happened, and we'll go. But at the same time, it was still a fun play for Bryland and those guys to experience.
For sure. And of course, like I've already said, this right here happened this year, area championship. Reflect on that a little bit, Coach. And do you know very many teams first year into a new system, new staff, new everything, and stepping up another division that goes all the way up and wins an area championship as convincingly as these guys did?
No, really, the only school I know that that moved up that was still playing was us. And again, I didn't do a whole ton of research, but just knowing teams and knowing where they're at was us and Alito. And to say that Alito's been in that same system now since Coach Buchanan got there in long time type stuff. So, I'm super, super impressed, super thankful for the coaches who joined in. We have a staff of 9 and 2 returners, so 7 new coaches, including myself, and getting to know these kids. And again, it goes thankful for these seniors and all that to trust us, and especially after a slow start in the Peaster game to, all right, it's tough. He's like, who are these guys? That's only natural. But for us to get going, and we end up having an 11-game win streak after that. And so, I mean, there's so many positives that we can go throughout this whole year. And to be area champs, be playing on Thanksgiving again for all 4 years in a high school career, it's pretty dang impressive, and something that and if you look through the history of Tolar, something that's pretty new to be this successful. So something that we keep building upon and keep growing this program.
Absolutely. I tell you, you look back at the season. We're talking about the Peaster game and how we kind of felt like after that game, and then we go to Teague, and we just kept fighting, kept staying in it, kept staying alive, kept going on, and then Brooks Stone Cold kicks that game-winning field goal with no time left on the clock. It seemed like that's where the switch came on, and the Rattlers came alive. And I'll flip up the schedule again there, and you just kind of do a little bit of an overview here. After that, we went over to Millsap, and we came home to take on Millsap, that is, and we played Millsap twice this year. We played them once in the regular non-district season, and then we played them again in the first round of the playoffs. And how special was that game? We come in and we really took care of business, and then you had the old, I believe that was Comanche, wasn't it? Our third game.
Yes,
Comanche.
Yeah. Yep. Fourth game was Comanche after we were able to come home to Millsap and got to experience our first home. Well, for me, experience our first home game, and
yes,
Comanche was really talented. You mentioned every one of those teams. Peaster was a second round team. Teague was a second round team. Millsap lost us first round. Comanche was a second round team. So you talk about a front loaded, tough schedule right off the bat, and every step of the way going 3-1 in that stretch was huge, and showed how talented this team was.
Yeah, to be the best, you got to play the best, and that's definitely what the mantra was there. Even schools that were a little bit up, and then Millsap in a really, really tough district, and just a up and comer. Millsap's kind of like a rivalry, unspoken rivalry. We've been in their same district before, and just really don't like one another, so to speak. And so it's going to be something special to see them again. Even next year, we get to go to their place. I get to sit on the roof again, I guess. And then, of course, at Breckenridge, what a special moment that was. We talked about the history of the stadium. We talked about the history of their program, and they weren't going to go away. They wanted to come in, but we on the road proved again. To win on the road is big, because when you get into playoffs, they're all road games, right, Coach?
Oh no doubt, and that's people ask maybe why Teague and somewhere near closer. Well, first of all, people when you're as good as Tolar's, people don't want to play you. And then,
right.
And type of stuff at the same time, we going to Teague, you got to get on the bus and go travel 2.5 hours. Well, guess what? Next year, when we go on the bus, we got to go to Brady and travel 2.5 hours, and they're going to be good again next year. And it might be for hopefully another district championship type game. So those type of games teach you how early in the season, teach you how to prepare. And as a program, the big games you want to play, and you're going to have to get on the bus and travel. So those are always important to play kind of a punch above your head a little bit, above your weight class, and go after and see where you're at early on, and then fix what you got, what you need to get fixing.
We then, after Breckenridge, opened up our district season with wins over Early and Dublin at home. And quite frankly, it was pretty easy for the Rattlers. They were beginning to really feel their oats and really starting to get really vested into the system. Still had some things to shake out, and they definitely did it on the away game to Clifton. And Clifton, tough little team, go down there, take care of business, have Brady at home. And that meant something, because it was for a district championship. And we came out firing on all cylinders, and then rounded out and get the win there. And then we round out with another win at Eastland on the road right before by district play or the playoffs. And just a good season, really on a roll after the Peaster disaster, so to speak. You go from there. I don't see this program regressing any. Now, we'll talk about it here as we go over some of these players that we're going to be losing some key players to the team, but we also have key players that are going to step up and remain with the team, that'll step up and take roles that were other people's and step into those roles and do just as good, if not even better, possibly. Who knows? And then you've got some young folks. And when we get done talking about the folks that we already have here, Coach, I want you to take a minute and kind of introduce us maybe to some folks that might be part of that process next year. Because as you spoke, we had a awesome JV program this year. I believe we were district champions on JV, weren't we?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we were district champs, undefeated district champs on the JV level. We were we ended up being co-district champs with the 8th grade group, and then we finished in second with the 7th grade group. So and really both the 8th grade and 7th grade only lost one loss. Just one was a tri championship, the other one was just a kind of how that works out a little bit. But super proud of the sub varsities, and again, the way the coaches work. It's the way it is. We got coaches up here coaching junior high before school and JV after school, and sub varsity teams matter, and that's how you build a program. Like you said, our goal is to every year when you talk to me, it's like, man, we lost a good senior class, and that's how good programs are. And then you just got to you got to learn how to replenish. You got to keep going, and just year after year, and that's where. And like you said, 2 years ago they had a good senior class. 3 years had a good senior class. This year we had a good senior class, and hopefully we just can continue that trend. And that's part about building the program.
Absolutely, for sure. We got a lot of people to thank, and we got some time to do it in. We're going to go through this process and progression. The first person I want to think of before I start throwing these up here is the ladies that do our photos, Coach. I want you to speak on them for just a minute. What a great job they do. I know that a lot of schools don't have the support staff that Tolar Rattlers have. And by what I mean by that is the community isn't as invested in them as what we see here. So we're a little spoiled, and we have two of the best photographers that I think any school could have. And they're not even, doing it as a business. They don't charge anything for them, and they do a great job. You want to talk about Miss Moody and Miss Carroll?
Oh, they're the best. I mean, you nailed it on that one. I think hopefully, and I know the community does thank them, but we probably don't thank them enough for their time and their commitment for everything they do, and the quality of pictures that they take too. I mean, you're looking at things that from an athletic standpoint or from an athletic director standpoint that I'm so grateful for, have those photos to where we can use for, whether it's social media or for future graphics around the campus and things of that nature, that you want kids to be excited about being in a program and doing things, and things like that, creating photos and memories and just being around is a big part of that. And so I can't thank those two ladies enough, and volunteering everything for all sports. It's not just football thing. They do volleyball. I'll see them in track. They'll do basketball. They'll do any other event that we have. We did our helmets and heels, and they were, it's not even one of those things that so absolutely will be there. Like, it's one of those things, like, just tell me the time and date. And so those ladies are the best, and truly can't thank them enough.
Yeah. Miss Owens says she's going to miss her boy playing. Well, she shouldn't have to worry because the best one's coming up. I'm talking about the killer Ty. You got to watch him, Coach. I'm telling you, this guy, he's going to be it. He's going to be I've already got his NIL rights too, Coach. We need to talk. But,
right.
He's going to be something else. And she also says she wants to thank Miss Carroll and Miss Moody for what they've done. And they are truly the best. So we're just blessed. We got them all. All right. We're going to run down this. There were some awards handed out, and Coach, let's talk about these guys because they definitely deserve these awards. And just like I said, every starting offensive lineman, and that's where I want to start off here, got district honors this season, and that don't happen. That don't happen very often, Coach.
No, but I will say this: I've been in districts where people don't, respect. Sometimes when you're kind of the beggar team, that some coaches kind of take it personal a little bit, and they don't necessarily, because all this is voted by other coaches. It has nothing to do really,
Right.
On my end. And so the fact that the coaches are like, yeah, they recognize that it wasn't just a one-man team. There's a lot of quality people and on our team, and super excited that happened. Like I said, I've been in places where it hasn't been the case, where you're like, all right, I wanted to stop a meeting and remind everybody that, hey, at halftime you're all down, but at this one they recognized it, and so super impressed with their voting and how the superlatives went, and I'm super excited the guys got the recognition that they deserved.
Well, let's get into it. We're going to talk about each and every one of them. The first one here is Sam Stewart, first team offensive lineman, honorable mention DT. And I'm telling you, Coach, if he'd have started and played every play at DT, he'd have probably been first team.
100%. But you'll see here, we'll talk more about the D line that, the good news that we did have a little bit of depth. So people play kind of one side of the ball, which is not common in, 2A, 3A type ball. And so we did have some depth, and Sam's motor was there. He was voted captain for a reason. Pound for pound, strongest guy on the team for sure. Not necessarily pound for pound. I mean, he's just strongest guy on the team. And I do know this, like, anybody around town that needs something to get fixed or a dependable dude, that's the guy to go after. I mean, he's just an awesome kid and awesome young man.
You like to be that guy, the guy that everybody knows you can depend on, and that was sure. Sam Stewart. Zane Graham, also first team offensive lineman.
No, again, another senior captain voted by his teammates and just dependable, hardworking. I don't think he missed a single summer workout. And again, just he got every ounce of athleticism and ability that he could just by the way he played and played hard and gave everything he got. So again, super good football player.
You know, you look at a lot of tape, and sometimes people stand out to you. This next guy really stood out to me as probably one of the most improved from one season to the next. I'm talking about Toby Combs, and Toby did a great job, and he was rewarded with that first team offensive lineman.
Yeah, as a former center, centers always I probably put I'm probably the hardest on centers, but they also have a special place in my heart. And all the centers I've ever coached, and Toby's one of them. And it's the one like I get to tell him you get to touch the ball every single play, and so there's a lot of pressure that goes into that. Being able to snap and blocking is one of the harder skills that people don't necessarily recognize. And so for Toby to do that as consistent as he was on a day-to-day basis, he's another one of those guys that, heck, you need something fixed, call those guys up. I mean, I can see all the stuff they make out in their ad classes. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And he's, again, just another great, solid kid, solid young man.
Great kid, going to do some great things, I'll tell you that. Another offensive lineman, and we're talking about Mr. Cooper, and second team offensive line. I love the fact he's got the flag there in the picture. Good stand-up young man.
Yeah, and no, obviously I've only got to know a lot of these kids for now close to almost a year, so go 10 months or so. But just getting to know the Coopers and knowing his backstory. I mean, he's come a long way, and I just know scratch the surface of kind of the things that he had to go through to get to where he was at, and just continue to get better and trust coaches and trust that just go out and get better, and things are going to get there for you. And he had to wait his time a little bit, and when he did, he definitely did an awesome job for us. And I was glad he got recognized for second team O-line and definitely solidified the right side of the offensive line this year for us.
For sure. Now, all four of those were all seniors, Coach. That's four big holes, and four of the district's very best, and some would even say close to the state's best on a few of them for sure. This guy's going to come back though, and you're talking about a junior in Mr. Rhodes, and he got honorable mention line. Ryder did a really good job on that offensive line.
Yeah, no, he was one when I first saw him. It's like, all right, hey, there's a lot of the seniors who last year, like the ones that graduated, there's some open spots, and he was the one that had a conversation. You want to go get it, and he worked hard for it, and solidified the starting job throughout the fall camp, and continued throughout his play. And now it's for him. We'll have conversations offseason about how to take the next step to become the leader as a one returner, and kind of learning how to be the guy that brings up some young guys to solidify another good offensive line. But it's his continued he continue to get better throughout the year, and that's one thing that we always ask kids to do: just give best effort and continue to get better and be coachable. And he's definitely a example of that.
Another one here. We're going to go to a linebacker, Ty McClure. I'll tell you, it's hard for me. You know, sometimes you really identify with certain players, and this guy right here, just the mental toughness, and just you talk about the brotherhood of the team. He can bring a lot of people together because of his self-sacrificing ways. First team linebacker this season, did some really nice things throughout his high school career.
Yeah, no, Ty. I mean, had a great one. Again, these seniors had a huge high school career and a great high school career, and he's definitely one of them. And Ty can run, and that helps that linebacker. And so, but at the same time, he's physical. So what's different and even talk to some coaches too. You know, where I coached in the 6A level for a while. And 6A, you're mainly going to see spread. Well, down here, you're going to see spread. You're going to see the wing tee. You're going to see the slot tee, which are two different offenses. You're going to see just a power run game type deal. So you see it all. So to have a linebacker that's physical and tough nosed like he is, and at the same time can also run, is a huge benefit to any team.
Well, that would definitely apply to the next guy who's actually coming back next season, the little sophomore. I call him little sophomore. He ain't so little. Boy, you should have seen him his freshman year. He looked like Keon, because he looked just like Keon last year. Sophomore this year, did a really great job at that linebacker position, first team linebacker. Honorable mention running back, could have been first team running back too. I mean, but he had somebody that was in his way, so to speak. What a great player. And, we talk about he also on the special teams. He provided a spark several times with some of those electric returns. But on the linebacker side of it, man, super physical at the line and super quick side to side. Definitely a guy you've got a building block there for sure.
Yeah, with a few of our sophomores, you forget that they're sophomores, the way they play, and so the fact that he's around for us for 2 more years is going to be a big part of what we do in this program. And his challenge will be this offseason to continue to develop his body to be able to be a two-way star that he has definitely capable to be, and that's really hard. It's hard to be able to play every single snap with the physicality that you have to play at this level, and but he sure is explosive. And like you said, he's a talented running back too. It's just we had the benefit of having some kids be able to kind of play more one side of the ball and keep things fresh. But there's going to be definitely an expanded role for Kelvin, and he's a special player. And so excited to support his future.
Absolutely. And congratulations for that first team honor. Also, to another guy you got coming back, junior wide receiver, number one target for Britton Rice, your quarterback, and that's Dason Watkins, first team wide receiver, well-deserved spot. And, man, some of the catches that he makes, and sometimes he'd make a catch 3 times before he'd actually put it away. Great receiver you got there, Coach.
Yeah, no, I remember, obviously doing my research coming in, you hear the familiar names I've been playing multiple years, and which we'll talk about, or we have talked about all year long about some of the seniors that have been 3-4 year starters type guys. I get here and I'm watching guys run track, and I'm like, well, all right, who's this tall kid that's going over hurdles and seemingly athletic and learning names, all that type of stuff. I mean, I'm sure he can, you don't make 6'1", 6'2" guys that can run like he can, and so had a great conversation with him during the springs. Like, there's the only person that's going to prevent you from being a first team receiver is you. And he definitely put in the work, and the sky's the limit again for him. Now, again, you want to hear the reoccurring theme with a lot of these underclassmen. Now it's time to go put in the work to take the next step up to be on both sides of the ball and become even bigger impact than they already were this year.
Absolutely. We go to the next one, senior Cutter Kane. And Cutter, you talk about self-sacrificing. You talk about, hey, coach, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to be the best at it, and then succeeding at it. I mean, what a success story Cutter Kane became, because he was a defensive lineman last year, folks, and one of the best ones around too. He was really good. He switches over, plays that corner position, and he'd have to cover receivers, shut down that side, and he did it every time. What a great season Cutter Kane had. First team cornerback, well deserved.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at the group that the kids they had coming back, or we had coming back this year, and it was like, oh, D lineman. It's like, all right, well, at some point we got to have other positions besides that. And so Cutter he's extremely good athlete, and so the way our base defense is out of a cover 2 shell, and corners have to be a big time run fit players. And I was like, well, heck, he's done that enough as a defensive end. I'm sure he can do that, and shows the athleticism. And no, and he did a great job. And again, being able to trust coaches and going through that, and then the maturity and the growth that he did, I'm proud of Cutter. And another one that we've been running the play that we got him on a rail route the other week, and I was able to call it and made a great catch as a running back too. And he provided depth at running back this year was huge for coaches lose sleep when you talk about depth. And so earlier when Peyton had a little banged up deal, Cutter came in and stepped up and did a great job at running back also. So thankful for him and the way he contributed to the team this year.
For sure. Next one. How about Mr. Culberson? Talon Culberson, honorable mention cornerback. Talon battled injury after injury after injury, but he also did some other things on the special team side, and just a supporter. I mean, a team guy is Talon Culberson. Great season for him.
Yeah, no, Talon, I mean, as someone who's had ACL surgery, also to the fact that he was back in 8 months or maybe even less than that, shows a crazy amount of dedication to come back from a pretty, devastating injury in terms of you have to have, ligament replacement surgery that he had to have. And so, and then again, just getting a little just banged up from a few of that type of stuff, but he was a dependable, and it's, again, a huge thing that you needed on the team. And again, something that's often or not. And I know you're, as a Cowboys fan, when I talk about holding and all that type of stuff, I don't bring up Tony Romo just yet on dropping a holder, but the holder on the team could be one of the more important things that you have to have in the kicking game. And he solidified that to a T. And that makes us, again, it's a big role on the team that not many people might think is a big role, but it's huge. And he did a great job with that on top of playing corner and playing a little receiver as much as his body could allow him. But I'm super excited to watch him play baseball this spring. I missed that last spring, so I know he's a kid that's chomping at the bit to get back on the diamond and playing.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, Coach. I want to thank you for bringing up Tony Romo and his fumble, and I was almost over that. Really appreciate you bringing that up. Here we go. We're going to go to the next one, and that's going to be Mr. Caden Pate. Now, defensive backs, especially at safeties and everything, you get to call their names, on tackles and stuff like that. But a lot of times, sometimes they don't get called for things that they do good because the play's not around them. But the reason the play's not around them is because they did their job. And Caden was that type of guy. He was always doing his job. And what a tough guy. First team safety, very deserving.
Yeah, another guy who's changed position. He was more of a corner last year and a different type of secondary scheme, more of a zone match than more of a man match type deal. So there's some getting used to and getting comfortable there, but became a huge person in a run fit, had a great game. All the secondary I know against Bells, we talk about their run first, but you have to have safeties be there to be run fit players and at the same time be ready to defend the pass, keep things in front as well. And so his growth from day one to the end of the year was massive for us. And again, another kid that just kept doing it. Another person who would sell out on special teams. Man, I love watching him run down on kickoff. He's one of our faster guys, if not the fastest guy in the program. And so he would prove that on kickoffs and just gave great effort that way. And again, another guy I want to enjoy watching him this spring run around the track again. But again, gave great effort, great kid. And again, appreciated his willingness to try a new position and just continue to get better on a day-in-day basis.
He's a special one. Here we go. Next one. Senior, Mr. Terrell, Zane Terrell. And Zane, what a guy, man. I mean, Mr. Positivity, second team wide receiver. Good job on him.
Yeah.
I don't like the number though, Coach.
Yeah, the new number's got a 0. He's the first one to wear 0 in Tolar. That's kind of the new kind of thing that everybody kind of gets at, and it's fine, Agent 0. But seeing Zane, play on the basketball court, and again, kind of like the same thing with Dason. It's like, all right, who's this kid that's tall, long, that is great for an outside receiver? That most time basketball players can go up and catch the ball because that's kind of the idea of a rebound. And so varsity basketball players, I love those guys and that can do both. And I was able to get him back on the football field, and it was really great to get him in an end zone and get him in the touchdown this year. And he provided again a lot of stability for us on the outside receiver position. And again, awesome family, awesome kid, and super excited that he was able to get back and play for us this year.
For sure. These next two guys, I'm telling you what, Coach, you were blessed because we have guys with great size and athletic ability. You look at, 6 foot, 6'1", 180, 190. I mean, that is your prototypical stud high school player. And I got a pair of them here. I'm going to give you the first one here. This guy right here, first team wide receiver, second team safety, should have been first team. I'm talking about Noah Yanish. That kid, man, he'd bring that big old body and just pound you.
Yeah, no, exactly that. You're just riding them to a T for sure. Absolutely, just huge. And no, but again, that tells you it don't matter. The game of football, if you just play hard and you give your best effort, the game will reward you. And he just, man, Noah, you talk about as a kid, one of the kids that just, if there's a goal in front of him, he is very no nonsense. He's going to go attack it, and tough. Tough is a great word to describe him. Man, he's one of the best punt returners that I've been around, and he truly understands the rules, so you can see kind of where he's very coachable. So when the ball is just kind of trickling around and it's kind of there, he understood that, hey, if they hit it, I can go get it without really having without having issues, because it'll come back to our ball. I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but what I'm saying is he's very coachable. Again, he's going to have an expanded role for sure, and he's going to work hard for it. And again, another two-way player. He's going to have after a good baseball season last year, and he's going to have another good one this year.
Yeah, I tell you, don't tell these guys they're not 6'1", 180, 190, because they play like that, and they think they're that size by the way they play. Really, really special guy. Love the family, and got to know them. I coached the younger brother in baseball, and really, really good family, especially the mom. The mom's the best. So here we go. We're going to go to the next one, and that
Usually
would
the
be
case, by the way. Usually moms are usually the best, so I get
yeah,
that.
the moms are the best. Now this guy, you're not going to get him back, and boy, what a loss. We're talking about Mr. Feist, first team safety, second team wide receiver. But do Mr. Anything you want. I love watching him return the football every now and then, and the catches after the yards after catch. Boy, I tell you what a guy there. Just a really good guy.
Yeah, I guess what's the Dr. Seuss thing one and thing two kind of idea. That's kind of how
Exactly.
we kind of looked at with Noah and Brylan. I mean, it's twin number one, twin number two, but Brylan again just a high motor, do whatever it needs to take to win the game. Had a great pass breakup this past weekend that just showed. And it's very tough when you're in spin coverage and you're the one high safety and you're having to get railroad between two verticals to be able to rate and sit and do that type of stuff. And he did it. And again, a growth. Wanted an expanded role this year with, he was behind a few of the really talented seniors here before and kept working. And then again, he was able to enjoy a lot of the fruits of his labor and how much he worked this offseason.
Yeah, he did. He did. Got the most out of him. All right, here we go. Junior coming back. First team cornerback. We're talking about Anson Laminack. Laminack was, we kept calling his name, especially the longer we get into the season. It's like he just got better and better and better, like a fine wine. And, this guy right here, he's kind of like a Merlot because he's just real thick and heavy about it.
Yeah, no, sometimes when teams would look at our deal, Anson's not as tall as Cutter, so like I want to try to pick on him a little bit, maybe more than the other guy. And he definitely just kept on. I mean, again, we tried him in a new role at corner, and the way our defense is set up, he took to it, understood his role, and understood kind of how things work a little bit. Very smart kid, and so because of that, he's put himself in multiple positions to make plays and make a interception return for a touchdown. I mean, he's just another guy. He's also a spark plug. Early on in the year too, he made a huge play against Millsap on a slant that scored. So he's another guy that is going to be he's going to have an expanded role possibly on both sides of the ball. Just the luxury we had kids that were able to play on both sides and really grow into in their position. And again, another kid that we'll be leaning on next year in his development and leadership. And it's always a good place when you're able to start with kids like him.
I look forward to watching his growth continue next year. All right, here we go. First team defensive end, Mr. Abrego, and sophomore. And man, he don't play like a sophomore, does he, Coach?
No, he's a heck of an athlete, and you can see it on the basketball court, and he's competitive, and that picture kind of sums him up a little bit. That the one inside, that the smaller picture, he is extremely competitive kid and hard-nosed player. He's going to have a huge role for us. I really enjoyed watching him grow, and we're going to keep continuing to challenge him as a leadership, but little things that he was saying, his leadership abilities and skills. I mean, I'm super excited. The sky's the limit for him. And he's a big time. He is already a good athlete, and there's no doubt he's going to continue to work. And we'll get him in the weight room. He's just scratching the surface there. So I can't wait to see what happens when we actually get the weight on him and get the strength on him. And just look out.
Yeah, another sophomore coming back and doing some big things in a pivotal role. And we talked about that. And this, none bigger than this guy right here. We're going to talk about Britton Rice, your sophomore quarterback. He'll be your junior quarterback next year, Coach. First team quarterback out of the district. Just a solid kid. His numbers, when you break down his numbers and look at his, now I know you say the stats, mean something, but not. But I tell you what, when you have those numbers, it does define who this guy is. He's just really solid. And I look at his growth and development next year being key. And you got a good one there, Coach.
Yeah, no, he went through the quarterback battle and came out. And that's always in itself, that's always a tough thing too. But we go back to, again, when I first got here, he's a point guard, a freshman point guard on a talented basketball team. And second round of playoff game, he gets fouled and we're up. And he's got to go make clutch free throws. And once he goes down. I don't think he even hits the rim. He stands up there, and I was like, all right, the kid's got it. And he's just going to keep developing. And I'm really super excited about the leadership abilities and the ways that he's going to be able to lead this team the next 2 years as a junior and senior. And grounded, humble young man for as good of an athlete he is. And accurate with the ball, smart. And so now him just getting more comfortable. Coach Humphreys did an amazing job with him, developing him as a young guy, and they're going to spend time this offseason during their quarterback school stuff, and he's going to really dive into this offense even more. And I'm super excited. And by the time his senior year, I'm just going to sit back and let him just call the offense, I bet, because he's that type of kid.
Yeah, he will be that type of kid. Great family too, by the way. Super good student as well. Here we go, Mr. Brooks, stone cold, and I'm telling you, I call him stone cold because he just didn't ever act like things got to him, and he was just even kill and on the money all the time and everything. You look at the awards there: special teams co-MVP, second team tight end, second team linebacker. I mean, Mr. Do Everything. You made him wash the jerseys too, didn't you, after the games?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Brooks is that's about as solid as a senior young man as you can find. Very, very grounded in his faith, and that permeates through him, and just a good young man. And you're right. The moment I always, from my first win, nailing a whatever yard, that 40-something yard field goal, and he up there and knocked the tar out of that thing. And that, again, going back to first year stuff like that, I'm not sure how many coaches out there have their first one with a game-winning field goal. So he'll always have a little piece of my heart on that one, and just, I mean, just great young man. And again, did multiple things. Another guy that we moved from D line to linebacker, tight end. We're a Big 12 personnel team this year, so he played a ton on offense as well. And so you can, but at the same time, his punting and kicking abilities is going to be something that we'll go on to replace. And yeah, he's great kid, and future is bright for him, and super excited I got to coach him.
Yeah, you look at some of these guys and you go, okay, how are they going to go? Where are they going to go from here, and that sort of thing. Whatever he does, it will be a success, and I think I could win that bet. Okay, the next one, another senior, number 11, and we're talking about Hunter Michaels. What a tenacious young man on the football field, just really, really zoned in to hurt somebody. And I like that in a defensive player. And he came away with Defensive Lineman of the Year out of the district. And, man, they could have just said, okay, which Rattler are we going to take for this award, and give it to him. And I like the fact that the senior Michaels got that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he's just this high pace, high energy kid and player, and I'm super excited that the other coaches recognize that too. And it really didn't take too long because he kicked their butts, one of those things. So you watch on film, and he's constantly chasing after running backs and quarterbacks, and Hunter's he's Hunter. There's no way right. He's a funny personality, good personality. Just enjoyed playing the game the right way, and motor never stopped. And super excited that he was up there. Again, whenever the things get put to the vote, you're hoping that things go your way and all that type of stuff. But man, I almost came out of my seat and with a high five to everybody whenever he won that, because he earned it, and I was super excited for him.
The next guy, Coach, you never got to coach me, but I tell you what, you would have been much younger. But this guy right here, he just has a big place in my heart, and what a great award he gets. Defensive MVP out of the district goes to Cash Money Clark, and he was just that way, Cash Money. And I love the fact that when you bring him in that big bunch, he'd be a lead blocker. You could just see the defensive lineman go, "Oh, come on, man. You're going to do this to us?" And with him and Drake leading the way with a big old Peyton Brown running behind them, I mean, who would want that? Nobody. And but just what a great guy. Again, do what you ever. And I was particularly glad he got to get a touchdown this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, we that package has been a great package for me, and you just find guys that are tough nosed and that can go and block and want to go do that, and it's just a willingness, and he did. And Cash is like a football player. Plain and simple. We joked around, Coach Mauser, the defense coordinator, and I, and along with the coaches, that anytime that your D line is making a ton of tackles, and it's not necessarily, a lot of times defense linemen, their job is to stack up blocks to linebackers make tackles. And so we talked about how many tackles the D line made this year for us and made plays, and he's right there. And it's just he had a nose for the ball. He understood how to react to blocks, and just passion. And we'll miss him. And he's a heck of a player, and what has been a heck of a football player. And yeah, he earned every bit of that defensive MVP. He flashed off the screen.
Yeah, people were scared of him. I saw it. I saw the fear in their eye from the press box. Okay, here you go. Downtown Peyton Brown. And I don't have to tell you what a great kid, what a super, just a super, there's a lot of kids when you go to interview them that you kind of get queasy about. You're like, oh my gosh, what's this guy going to say? Because they're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and you just don't know what's going to come out of their mouth. And I never had to worry about Peyton Brown because it was always positivity and it was always in a respectful manner. And when you roll that into, and then you see him as a monster out there on that football field doing what he did, most deservingly offensive MVP out of the district.
Yeah, no, I mean he's about as he's dependable. It's like, all right, what we need to do? All right, hand the ball to Peyton, he'll do something for us. That's kind of something that in those certain words, it's kind of on the back of my call sheet. Let him take control of the game if need and stuff like that, and he did. Peyton's and as good as a football player is, he's a solid human, solid guy. There's no doubt he's going to be a great husband, great father, and he's just a really, really, really good kid. Really good young man. Like you said, he's dependable. He's carrying the ball. If you look, there's a fun website if you want to go down and fans out there, whoever wants to do. You like Google. I don't know exactly what the website is, but it's like TexasHighSchoolFootballHistory.com or something along those lines. If you just Google that stuff, it'll show all records of carries and touchdowns, things like that. I mean, to have over 100 touchdowns in a career, I mean, he's in some rarefied air, and he'll go down as one of the top 2A, 3A running backs in this area for a long time. And he did it for a long time with some injuries, and the way he battled back, and from Peacer, he kind of got rolled up again against Peacer for the next 3, 5, 6 weeks. He was constantly in twice, 3 times a week with our trainer getting treatment. It mattered to him, and again, he voted captain for a reason. Great kid, and definitely earned the offensive MVP award.
Coach, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been doing Tolar football for a long time. And to see some of these kids develop from, junior high, little 6th graders, 7th graders, peewee years and everything. And I remember him, and I remember some of the others when they were just really, really young and they were just coming up. And to see him go through it in the way that they did it is very, very makes you hopeful as an old turkey about these younger crowd coming in. This next one, and you can copy and paste everything I just said. What a solid athlete. Drake Owens comes from a great family, fantastic background. His brother, he got to play with his brother, Brock, who was an awesome linebacker. He gets MVP out of the district, and very deservingly, I think, because he could do it all. I mean, you talk about two-way. He paid that tight end, that fullback position, hybrid position that you had. And then he also was your, stud linebacker out there calling plays and getting everybody in order. And he did it all of his high school career with just a lot of grace and a lot of determination. I really, really, really want to pat that kid on the back.
Yeah, no, Drake is like a throwback to old school, kind of in a good way. Like, he's the type of kid. It's like, I'd rather play on grass. I'd rather do that. Let's play in a mud bowl. That type of mentality. And no, you're right. His offensive position, what we asked for him to do, which is how to line up and shift and move and do like that to change the point of the strength and the structure of an offense, provides hard dynamics, and it's a lot to learn and a lot to get through. And the way he did that, then on top of being a linebacker, and he's just instinctive. It's funny because he goes through the hit list where the plays are going to be run with the defense coaches and things of that, like tendencies. And in the middle of the game, he's picking up on tendencies right then and there. And because of that, he's just instinctive. And that's just the way it is. Played with such passion for the game and love for the game and everything above that. Team captain for a reason, offense district MVP for a reason. Just huge part of this program for a long time, and got to experience a lot of football, got to play a lot of football, and like you said, everything you said, great young man, great family, gave everything he could for this team. I know when he kind of went down a little bit against Eastland and he's back, I was like, all right, he's going to play. Some kids you have to worry a little bit about it, but I was like, no, there's no doubt that he's going to play, and he definitely did what he needed to do, and countless big plays for us this year when we needed it. Comanche game comes to mind right off the bat when we needed a big play at that point. The Brady game, right off the bat, made a big play to get us rolling. So, just very dependable kid, and definitely deserved district MVP for sure.
Of course, it also doesn't help that you can go ask Ty, what should I do here and everything, because, Ty's going to tell him the right answer every time. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Ty's going to be the stud. Okay. So we got some other folks to thank, and I appreciate you sticking with us, Coach. I know it's going a little longer than usual, but this is our final football show, and I wanted to make it special, and I didn't want to leave anybody out. I got a couple of people I want to thank. Superintendent Travis Stillwell. Mr. Stillwell at every football game. And, he doesn't have to. He's superintendent. He don't have to be there. But he shows up and he supports and he's a part of what goes on. And anytime I know I had something that, I wanted to talk to him about, so far as on the broadcast side or whatever, he was always made himself available. We're lucky to have a guy like him that's totally invested, not only in the school, but also the community and also these programs. Also want to thank Principal Clint Gardner. Again, anytime I need to get on campus for anything, he's always been very accommodating and very, very helpful, as has Brad Cooper this year, and the Booster Club. We had the huddle camera this year. No problems. We'll go out and get whatever we need to make that happen and to continue on the program and working with me. This next year, I think I've got something else that's going to help the Booster Club even more. And we want to help the Booster Club, folks. And if there's anything you can do so far as volunteers, every year, the track program, it's a tough time of year for folks to volunteer and do things, but get it on your calendar now, folks. I'm going to be out there. I want the dates so I can take some time off. I'm going to go out there. I'll work the concession stand. I'll do whatever it takes to help the program, and that's what the Booster Club does all year long. And that's a big job. And, Brad Cooper don't get that big salary he gets for being president of Booster Club. It don't go very far. I think it's a big zero, right?
Yeah, it's good to go back to the community and the school is super lucky to have a superintendent like Mr. Stillwell. Period in story. He's one big reason why I'm here. Just getting to know him during the application process and the interview process. Down to earth guy that all he cares about is just the success of Tolar and every bit. That's all his deal is. There's no hidden agenda with him. He's very straightforward. I appreciate from him on that one. He understands the importance of extracurriculars and athletics, and he will do whatever it takes to keep Tolar rolling. And you see a superintendent cheer like him on a Friday night on some film stuff. It makes you extremely supportive of us and what we do. And I can't thank him. Again, there's so many pluses about this place. He's a big plus, and the same thing with Mr. Gardner, Coach Gardner. And what he does at the high school and the way he interacts with students. He's very, very patient, and he just what's the best interest and takes care of kids. And so the administration here, Mr. Hamilton at the junior high, who I worked previously with, Ms. Hollinger at elementary. I mean, there's the administration here is top notch. Mrs. Carey, the assistant superintendent, can't say enough for the support there. And then of course with the Booster Club and everything they do across the board, led by Brad, is like you said, anytime. He's constantly asking, hey, wish list from the coaches, and they take it to the board. And, I can go through the whole board as well. But there's a reason why, kids work hard and all that stuff, but the support that they need and to run a top-notch program is in place. And it's extremely beneficial for the community and for the athletic program.
Want to thank the band. The band showed up proud and loud every Friday night, and usually during playoffs, Coach, you see a fall off on the band guys. They just don't show up with the team, and
I come from a school that and the band's really good. They won state and all that, but there was multiple playoff games we didn't have a band. So what Mr. Lowe and the band to support here is something I've never been able to experience, and they do an awesome job. And so I can speak firsthand on the dip down on bands and all that, but not just him, is the kids that are part of it. And I don't necessarily. One of my goals is to get to know maybe more of their names, but the kiddos that are a part of that is gets around them. I probably don't get to see them as much just because I'm on the athletic side, but they do an amazing job and put in a ton of work. And it definitely adds to the Friday night and playoff experience. So I can't thank the band enough for what they do.
Yeah, the band and the cheerleaders. I want to talk about them. The cheerleaders, they are part of this team, and they're part of what the atmosphere and the whole structure is. And I know that as a player, man, I used to get excited when I'd hear that band pepping up and the cheerleaders really yelling hard and getting the crowd behind us and everything. And so it is part of the team, and it's very integral. And it's great that there's no fall off when we get to playoffs because they're there and all of them. But talk about those cheerleaders, Coach. We had a great cheer staff this year, and I saw a couple of girls you might want to look at. You might have a backup quarterback in there. They can chunk those teacher.
We'll go around that one. No, Miss Hawthorne and what those girls do. I mean, let's just take that playoff week where our first round playoff game. I do believe they traveled all the way to Wall for a volleyball game. They're with us on a Friday night football game. Then they're traveling out Saturday for another volleyball game, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, what they do to get pep rally set up, all the different cheers, dances, you name it, the signs they make. No, I mean, I'll say they work hard. Probably one of the hardest working, if not the hardest working organization group on the school, and it matters. Having good cheerleaders that represent the school, and there's reason. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of pep and cheer at a school, and so they're definitely part of the reason and get the crowd rolling, and they do a great job. And again, part of the what makes Texas high school football great, but at the same time, it's even elevated when they're as good as what they are here at Tolar.
And the trainers, we have some student trainers, but we also have some folks that give part of their time. I'm talking about family and friends, orthopedic, who also, again, when I talk about my sponsors here in a minute, man, did they ever step up to help in the playoff broadcast where we were able to do video and audio. Very, very big and very, very appreciative of them. But your head trainer, I cannot pronounce his name. I would always go, hey, man, if I don't know your name or if I can't pronounce it, it's hey, man. And but what a great job he did this year. It seemed like we just didn't have a lot of injuries this year, Coach, and that's because of preventative medicine. It's also from the fact that when somebody would go down with something minor, it didn't become major because we had attention.
Yeah, no, Breezy. So yeah, that's why kids he lets people just call him Breezy, so it's easier to say on that one. But again, anywhere, and it's been such a great trend over the last 10, 15 years of school districts actually understand the importance of trainers and having them for us, and not just us coaches, rub dirt on it type old school mentality on that. So actually, trainers that provide equipment. Again, Booster Club provided some equipment as well for us to kind of get their legs back underneath it and take care of that way. And he does a great job. And the student trainers that we have that volunteer their time, and managers are filmers as well. And I think I mentioned last time, but the way we practice is more of a big school college type practice where we don't have water breaks. We don't have to condition at the end because we're constantly moving because we have trainers behind every single drill that we have that constantly have water bottles for our kids. And that just saves time, and it just makes more for efficient practice on the same time of just getting everything ready to go on a Friday night. It's a big ordeal when you're bringing a big travel trailer and all the equipment that we bring just for a game on a Friday night. They're all there to help plan it and set it up and take it down.
A very successful season this year. Final record 11-2 on the year, and bookends. First game, last game. You kind of, if you're going to lose, I mean, those would be the ones to lose to me. Is the first one and the last one. You don't want to lose any of them, but if you're going to lose, that's the ones to lose. Your staff coming in here with a new system and being able to do with them, I want to show them some love. Of course, we got to talk with your brother last week, and we got a lot of people that said, man, we really appreciated getting to see him and talk to him, or getting him on the air and on the broadcast and everything. And I really enjoyed that. But your offensive coordinator, Carson Humphreys, kind of go over your coaching staff, if you would, Coach, and let's give them a big pat on the back because, they did a lot of hard work this season to be able to be as successful as we were. Even though we got a lot of talented players, it doesn't work if they don't put the work in, and they definitely did.
Yeah, no, the coaching hours are long, and they're not. There's definitely a passion of why we do what we do, and this group definitely embodies that. But it starts with defense coordinator, and then of course, obviously my older brother, Coach Brett Mauser, and I've always thought highly of him as a coach. And I was fortunate enough that he wanted to take on this role and to work for a little brother, and he did a great job this year. I mean, you look at the points given up, it's very impressive, and definitely with a new system. And I actually challenged him a little bit, understanding kind of a new system. It's a little bit off what he kind of knew, and he dug into it and did a great job coaching that along in his defensive staff. But it starts with D-line Coach Higgins, who's one of the returning coaches. Coach Higgins also spearheaded our special teams, and as you know, we had a ton of success with our punt return game, and overall with all of our special teams. But kickoff return, like big returns, we had blocks. Our kicking game was sound for throughout the year, and so he does a great job. And man, he's another hardworking dude that constantly looking for something to do and improve. Coach Pendleton worked with the safeties. He's another holdover and just a great coach, great individual, great family guy. So super fortunate that he got to stay back and he wanted to still stay along. And Coach Mitchell, who does a great job with our baseball program, helped with our corners this year. Another great family man as well. And so defense side's real, just did an amazing job this year of getting our guys ready to go and week in and week out, and to a point we have. Offensively, Coach Humphreys did an amazing job with our offense and just taking a load off my plate personally. He took care of practice scripts. He took care of making sure schedules was ready to go on the offensive side of the ball, so we're ready to go. And that's a huge burden and hard to do. It's a time consuming thing. So can't thank him enough. And of course, just his knowledge and then how he coaches quarterbacks and receivers. You can see that developing throughout on all levels. How much better we got throwing and catching. There's no doubt this spring semester when we get back out and start doing that, it's going to even continue to grow from there. Coach Dalton Sulis, who works with our O-line running backs, kind of a jack of all trade, but he's our weight guy. So young coach that's only getting better, and his growth this year was tremendous, and appreciate his hard work. Coach Jody Spain, our head baseball coach, worked with our receivers and returners. Just great man, great guy, and super blessed that he's here. Coach Nathan Gandy, who also works with our running backs as well. He's our assistant basketball coach, and again, those guys up here every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 6 a.m. with the junior hires, and leaving about 6:30 or 7. So it's long hours, and being able to the wins make it a little bit better, but I know they're impacting kids' lives, and they take it serious and how they treat kids, and I'm super blessed to have those guys that work here.
Also, I want to thank this little knucklehead right here next to me, Donnie Wood. Coach, I had my birthday, 60th birthday, October 5th, and he took this picture. He cropped me out of it, blew up his picture, and then signed it and said, to David, your favorite all-time broadcaster, Donnie. And that's just the way it's been. We've been doing this for well over a decade with Tolar, longer than that, 2 decades if you want to take in all that we've done about that and everything. And I've had to mess with him. Well, he's 58, 57, somewhere in there, I think. And so I've had to mess with him for a long time, but we really enjoy doing this, and we especially love doing Tolar. But I want to thank him and Doug for helping me with the broadcast and everything, and doing what they did, even though Donnie doesn't want to carry or help with teardown. But no, they're great guys, and I'm really fortunate to have them not only as brothers, but as helpers in this project. I want to thank all my sports scene sponsors, because without them, there is no us, is what we always say. But I will tell you that next year, those monies are going to filter in through the Booster Club. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something really, really different. And I won't go into too many details, but you're going to be amazed at what we're going to do next year. It's going to set you on fire. One other person to thank, and then we're going to be out of here. I know that we've gone a little long. And again, Coach, I really appreciate you doing this. But there was one other award that was given out for the district, and it was this one. Yeah. Coach of the Year, Blake Mauser. And I'll tell you, Coach, you definitely deserved it. Came in and put in a completely new program for the guys, nurtured everything with them, really just blended into this community day one. Of course, it doesn't hurt that you have an adorable daughter that you bring to the basketball court, and everybody goes, oh, we like this guy. That's just the way we are. And I tell you, you deserve this, Coach, because I know a lot of times when people get awards, they go, oh, I don't feel like I deserved it. There's so many other people that helped make this possible, but you did make it possible. And really appreciate you. This is the first year I've ever been able to do Coach's Show and had the coach available every week in and week out. And I cannot tell you how invaluable that is on my end. But when you do things like that for little old me, I know what you do for these kids. And that is the main thing. So hope you stick around quite a long time. You most deservingly deserve that. We destroyed the district, and we'll do it again next year.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. And no, I'm super blessed to be here. And sure, it's great to get recognized by that. But it again goes to the coaching staff that works hard and and the kids that did, a lot of the trust that the kids put into me and the community put into me, and some things that are new. And there's definitely things that I'm learning and doing better myself. I'm going to continue to get better myself. And but it was a heck of a first year, and I'm super excited, super blessed to be here, and my family is too. And you're right, it is always easier when you get to when you have a great family support system that just cares, and that allows me to do what I do and the long hours. And so I need to thank, probably, obviously thank my wife, and thank my little one. I don't know if she will watch this thing, but it's between this and Bluey, she'll probably want to watch Bluey. But no, my wife is super special, the head coach's wife, and I couldn't do it without her. And it was a great year, and we're looking forward to more. We're just, hopefully getting this thing going, just not just football program wise, but the whole athletic department, and making sure this thing is run top notch like it's supposed to.
Absolutely. Donnie chimes in. He says, congratulations to you and your whole coaching staff and the team. Enjoyed calling all the games. Blessed to be part of the Rattler Nation. Also blessed to do it with my brother, Go Rattlers. And, it's going to continue here from here, Coach. Now, we're going to come on from time to time. We'll have some visits with Coach. And so just be checking along. I want to bring him on along that. Also going to try to get a hold of the basketball coaches. They're extremely busy right now. And so I don't fault them in not responding, but we'll get them, and we'll get some coaches shows with them as well. Maybe even with Coach and the basketball coach. But we'll do some different things. We're still going to be around. And Coach, thank you so much for allowing us the time that you've given this show, because I tell you what, we had quite a bit of watchers today, and the stream is doing quite well. Now, folks, do go and like and subscribe to the YouTube page, because moving forward, the YouTube page is going to be important, as is the Huddle page. You got to go on there and subscribe to the Huddle page if you want to catch these great basketball games that are going on, which, by the way, something special happened yesterday, didn't it, Coach?
Yeah, no, I mean, the Lady Rattlers went and absolutely put on a clinic from that school up north that, I guess they're, Hoosier land, whatever, they the gift of basketball, but the Lady Rattlers kind of showed what their grit is, and they're a heck of a team. Coach Hoffman does a great job with those girls. And if you want to watch show, I mean, if you want to come watch a good show, come on out. If you can't make it any home game, just to plug in that Huddle deal. If you can't make it to the game, any game that's played in the main gym, whether it's junior high, JV, or varsity, will be streamed. And again, you can get monthly pass, yearly pass. Yearly pass, that if you got it for the football, will work also for the basketball. Monthly pass, same thing. Or if it's just a game for grandparents, aunts, uncles, and want to watch. But Coach Atkins is doing an awesome job with the boys basketball team. We're only going to continue to get better. It's going to be a process. It's a very young team. And then Coach Hoffman's got a lot of returners back, and they're showing it. And it's going to be a fun winter to early spring with our basketball program for sure. And I'm super excited to see those kids and compete. And JV and junior hires are started out with a great start as well. I know junior high girls are winning tons of games, and the junior high boys are doing a great job as well. So come on out and watch out some basketball, and then we'll get rolling, and we'll talk in the spring about our sports on the diamonds and the track. So it's going to be a lot of great. We're just scratching the surface a little bit right now this year. We're going to continue to have a great year this year.
For sure. And just programming note, we will be carrying basketball. We're going to have some games that are going to be home, and we'll hopefully mirror it up with the Huddle. And then also we're going to be carrying a lot of away games. That's the way I'm going to set up my schedule. Of course, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. It's been a long run for me, Coach, and I know you feel it too. So I'm going to take a little bit of a vacation here, and then we're going to come back and we'll have more of it. But Coach, again, thanks for everything that you do. And this will conclude our football programming for the year. And of course, we'll have some.
One thing I want to do is you got to do a lot of things for everybody. I want to thank you, and I know a lot of people here want to thank you as well for all the stuff that you do for the town, and then taking time out of your way to provide this service as well. Again, not many 3A programs have this type of quality that does this. So I appreciate you and your brother, and thank you for everything that you do.
Well, thank you, sir. And it's just begun. It's only just begun, Coach. We're gonna reload, reshuffle, and we're gonna have some more exciting action on that football field. But until then, we got basketball, we got track, we got baseball, softball, we got all kinds of stuff coming up your way. Be a part of it anytime the Rattler Nation is in town. Until then, folks, God bless you, and we'll see you down the road.